Hello, as I says here. We've just got a new sector, so it's time to go over the new sector patch notes. As with most actual sector updates, as opposed to mid sectors, the focus is typically on new content. So we've got a new environment, the Decayed Hope, Lodestar Shield, Launchpad, a deco pack that's like free deco pack, as well as there is a paid one, which I think comes up here. Yep, down here a little bit. Um, that's standard for all of the sectors. This here is new. Enhancements can now drop from maps, so you're not always going to get parts and synthite, which is going to mess up the numbers for how fast you can farm parts and synthite, but also significantly increase how many enhancements we can get. Um, Expedition progress can now be collected from daily challenges. First time user experience, so tutorials when you first start have been changed. We'll see how that goes, particularly related to expeditions because people were confused. The tutorials section has been updated. Hopefully they've updated all of them and not just the things that they've changed, because there were some that were significantly out of date, which is in the menu if you ever wanted to access that. And the end of season UI has been reworked, so this is just to it tells you about the expedition reset, which is fine. Like seasonal track, it should update. We also have this. So these holiday decals have been added into the game, all Christmassy things. They're in the expedition rewards. You don't get these for free. You have to earn them by running expeditions. So they're actually in the seasonal track. Um, Decal pack, it's already mentioned, and that. Oh, well, no, this is the cosmetic collection. Okay, cool. So this is the paid decorations. That's fine, and we've gotten our ranked awards. We'd seen these previously, we just hadn't got them yet. So that's the like overall stuff for the Sector 2, but then we also have the changes that we didn't know so much about because we don't hear quite as much about quality of life balance changes and bug fixes. So the raid result screens has been split up so that you can clearly see how much is guaranteed reward and how much is drops, so you'll be able to actually see how many drops you're getting, which is interesting because it means that it'll be much easier to know whether it's worth activating one of the boosts. Um, when a daily challenge is ready to be claimed, it's given priority over the Chimera button. That's fine, that makes sense because daily challenges reset every day, whereas the Chimera button doesn't reset. Makes sense to put the faster one as a priority. And the splash screen's been updated. They'll probably look something like this, with with the bike thing on it, that we consistently get with each sector. So that's probably what that'll look like. You'll be able to see it in game. Just load up a single map. Now for balance changes, the corrosion cube spontaneous mod has been reduced in power quite significantly. I think these are all changes to the corrosion cube spontaneous mod. So its radius has been reduced by 1.5 from 2 to 1.5 meters. So instead of covering roughly a block in size, it now covers significantly less than that. The cooldown has been increased from 1.5 to 3 seconds, which that 1.5 second cooldown was only added like a hotfix ago, so that's quite a lot. You can remain in the acid puddles slightly longer. It's gone from 1.25 to 1.5 seconds. That is a weird one. I don't know how that actually works because you cannot remain in them for 1.25 seconds. It's zero point 0.6 seconds before you die. And there's a similar patch note with the corrosion cubes that claim that you could survive in them for 1.25 seconds, where it's actually 0.6 seconds. So I would assume that it's not actually going to let you survive 1.5 seconds. It'll probably be something like 0.7, 0.8 if you actually time it. I don't know what this value they keep tweaking is that gives these numbers that are so high relative to what actually happens. Because 1.5 seconds at walking speed, you would be able to go 2.5 blocks. Um, and you definitely couldn't go like the 1.25 would not be quite as much. It'd be the split the difference between it'd be about 2 blocks ish. Um, and that wasn't the case previously. You could only walk like half a block, which meant that if you were actually walking in them, you could sometimes die if you took the wrong angle. But anyway, the uptime has been reduced by 1 second from 3.5 to 2.5 seconds, so the puddles decay faster. There's a bigger gap between puddles being shot out. They're smaller and they take longer to kill. Basically, every single base number on the puddle or on the spontaneous mod puddles have been nerfed. Um, we'll see how effective they still are. They were very strong even after the nerfs and the hotfixes, so it could still be pretty good. For both speed landing and shockwave, these are the two enhancements that require you to fall a certain distance before they trigger. They required you to fall greater than 3 blocks. This has been changed to 2 blocks, 12 meters to 8 meters, because blocks are 4 meters. So now you can actually trigger these just off a double jump. That's all you need to do. Like, you just need to get, like, if you hold your jump and go to your full height for both jumps, you actually be high enough to trigger this. And like, even like downward ramps and stuff, you'll be able to trigger these enhancements. These are both pretty bad generally because it was just so hard to find time to just jump up into the air a lot of the time. So this will really help with that. Make these two particular enhancements, which are some of the more like fancy, interesting ones, actually more impactful. Ammo restore enhancements has been significantly increased percentage chance of restoring ammo. Uh, the fact that these numbers are so low is ridiculous because there was an ammo increase one enhancement that does like twice this effect. And that's guaranteed, not a percentage chance. And like, this could roll high and you could get that 70% a lot, but to trigger the ammo restore, you need to get like a sniper or a headshot. So the only only getting that back on like a 70% chance is still uh, a risk. Still a risk. So this will make it better. It'll be better. I don't know if it'll be strictly worse than the one that just gives you extra ammo anymore, which is a fine spot to be. Synthite cells and parts earned for raiding have been increased, so that just sounds like more drops. We'll see what that actually is. It could just mean that the expedition rewards on the map are higher than they were. We'll see. It needs to be increased to counteract the fact that we're now getting enhancements for guaranteeds instead of these, and we don't really need nerfs to any of these resource gains, honestly. The amount of enhancements awarded has been rebalanced based on difficulty and rarity of the expedition. Cool. Like, hopefully that means that Brutal will get more epics, because at the current point in time, there's no way that you can't even maintain one epic per raid, no matter what you're playing, which is kind of silly. The epics are so hard to come by that it's actually hard to ever justify using them, especially if you can beat the maps without them. And the maximum gem map required to process an advisor has been reduced. This is good. This just means that because each time you process an advisor, you get one of the blocks that feeds into the chimera. That means that if you reduce the maximum required, that means that it's less to get to the 5 blocks, to get the chimera level, to get the 100 cells. This probably should have happened in the mid-season update, I think, because they significantly reduced how many cells you got from a chimera level. and 25,000 gen mat for per chimera level was kind of ridiculous. So overall, these changes are pretty good. Corrosion Cube was the most, I think, was the most problematic trap. I had it in S tier in my tier list. I specifically the Corrosion Cube Spontaneous mod is what had it there. These enhancement changes are just things that I think are fine. These are the problematic. These aren't like super powerful enhancements. They are slightly better now, easier to use, and that's probably fine. And nothing to complain about with the actual like resource changes at the moment, unless something's broken. We'll see on that front. As for bug fixes, we fixed initial preventing sentry beams from displaying their warning laser. That was really annoying when it happened. So hopefully they've got all the cases, because they fixed some of those previously, but there was still some cases left. So hopefully we always get the warning laser nowadays. Fixed an issue causing a hollow cube to appear incorrectly when a trap is revealed. I don't know what that one's referring to off the top of my head, but if you're fixing an issue that makes hollow cubes not appear properly, whatever, that's good. Fixed an issue preventing the splatter mod from triggering from Corrosion Cube is hit with melee attacks. Technically this is a melee nerf, but also why would you ever be swinging a melee weapon anywhere near a Corrosion Cube? So it's like it will have basically no impact, because the um that that case is basically non-existent. Fixed an issue causing plasma sentinel projectiles to change direction after hitting a death piston side. So what would happen is it would hit the death piston side and it would reflect off, and then you just end up with a plasma sentinel shot just in the middle of nowhere. It looked really goofy. It didn't make a lot of sense. It's fine for this to be fixed. It'll probably just hit the death piston side, and if there's a death nova, if there's a plasma nova, it'll just stay up where the death piston is. It's makes more sense. It is more intuitive. Similar with the melee attack splatter thing. That is more intuitive, so why not? Fixed an issue causing bomb ejectors warning audio to be barely audible in some certain setups. I feel like I knew this. There were times when I just didn't hear bomb ejectors, and I guess this might have been partially responsible for that. Sometimes it would just be me missing it, but this is good. Like, warning audio is very important, so it's good that it's actually playing properly. Fixed an issue where the hollow cubes did not display correctly while building. This was a nuisance at best. When you were building, sometimes they would show the hollow cube graphic of the default of the like Red Sands map rather than whatever map you were on. It looked right when you played the thing, so it wasn't a big deal, but it was it could just mess with like when you're trying to build and make things look nice, so better for it to be fixed. Fixed an issue causing assassin guards to not follow their recorded paths. That's fine. Also fixed an issue with causing enforcers equipped with Seeker Bolts mod to sometimes not shoot at raiders. These two, like, you expect guards to follow their paths, you expect guards to fire when they can see the raider. These two situations are better fixed. They don't really have any significant impact because I don't think either of these cases was particularly common. Fixed an issue causing the Hornet Sluggish mod to stay in effect permanently when the raider passes through two overlapping bubbles. That one was really annoying. You get like the purple tint all over your screen and you just move slow forever. That was not great. It's good for it to be fixed. I think that it was kind of difficult for this to trigger this because because typically you'd be moving away from the bolts rather than into them, but when it happened, it was really annoying and it would often lead to a kill because they're you just move slower, and if you move slower, you can't dodge quite as well. Fixed an issue allowing Phoenix pods deployed from the gem mats before the gem mat has been grabbed to still be available after the event. I'm not sure if this is pod stalling. If this is pod stalling, this is huge. So pod stalling is when you put down a magnetic link, not magnetic link, flash barrier. You put down a flash barrier and then you put the pod on top of it. The pod can't deploy on top of the flash barrier, so it will sit there and wait for the flash barrier to go down, and then it will land on the ground, giving you, and because it's not active, you can grab the gen mat, and then when you grab the gen mat, you can die, wait for the pod to hit the ground and set up, and then respawn at it, potentially quite far away and somewhere where you've definitely not got to after you've grabbed the gen mat. That's probably what this is, I would have to guess. There are some other ways to do somewhat similar things where you like throw it into the air and then grab the gen mat. And maybe that's what's been fixed here, but I'd have to go into game to check, and I haven't done that yet. I'm patching it as we speak. Fix the crash occurring when a raid is restarted while a Phoenix pod is deploying. Okay, well, any crash fix is good. Is a good fix. Fix an issue causing blast grenades to be destroyed when thrown against extended death piston or impaler traps. That one was super annoying because it was particularly common to throw grenades at death pistons, and occasionally they would just get eaten up. And you can't just have them be eaten up. They're consumables. You're losing losing one of your 3 blast grenades. It really impacts the balance of what blast grenades can be used for. And that was just a big problem. And it's nice that it's gone. Enhancement inventory, not displayed, new items, cosmetic names overflowing, not displayed until the next update or season. Yeah, so the Expedition Reward UI wasn't playing properly, weapon type information not displayed, synthites not being updated after refilling outposts, incorrect parts shown in the outpost results UI. Yeah, this seemed to be showing how much synthite you lost rather than how much you gained. That was very strange. Um, a bunch like UI fixes. None of these are going to be super impactful for how you play. Um, this one here is kind of funny. It would always show the default loadout for like half a second and then swap when viewing a replay. But yeah, this is just a bunch of like little things so that you can so that the game's a little bit easier to understand. Um, there was an issue where co-op players who didn't escape could get ranked points, causing invalid claim action to not be grayed out for co-op guests. Okay, yeah, yeah. So it looks like an option that you couldn't take was not grayed out and is now grayed out. And sometimes the co-op partner's outline would disappear. I don't play a lot of co-ops, I never noticed this one. This is probably the most impactful of those 3. I don't, although I suppose you could have abused this if you knew about it. A couple of performance issues that have been fixed. We'll see how that goes. I would assume there's probably more in here than just these 2. Performance is kind of whenever in any game, performance is always like an ongoing struggle, but it's not really something you can easily say like, yeah, we fixed the performance issue. It's always something that's constantly being improved because it can't really be fixed because there's always room for improvement. Like it can be better, it can't be. It's not something that like it's not a binary on or off. It's like it's always going to be a granular spectrum thing. Fixed an issue causing incorrect unlocalized text to be displayed when unlocking an item. I play in English, so I didn't notice this, because I'm pretty sure the English is the base language for the game. Um, I'm sure this would have been annoying for people that aren't English speakers. Fixed an issue causing raiders to become stuck in geometry at a specific spot in the Shattered Peak environment. I'm a little surprised I never found that. But I suppose I did a little bit of exploring. There's probably a very specific spot. Um, Fixed an issue causing recently blocked players' outposts to remain in the expedition map until completed. They're, yeah, when you block a player, it's supposed to cycle all their maps out so that you don't have to play them. Um, the that's used to work on on the non-expedition stuff, but I guess it was broken on the expedition maps. There's some clipping issues where you could view things through second wave map blocks and holocubes you shouldn't be able to do that. It's fine for it it should be fixed. It is now fixed. It's good. I don't know what was the cause, how you triggered that, so it wasn't like I don't think it was like super highly used. Audio feedback from absorbing explosion damage with a shield. Cool. Um, Close call and hazard shot down rating feats to be awarded incorrectly. Okay, yeah, so this is every time something died or yeah, pretty much every time something died or got anywhere. No, actually, if it gets close to you, it's supposed. Anytime something died or you die, you would get close call and hazard shot down. So you're getting so much more experience than you should have in the last patch. Um, so that's been fixed, which will hopefully go back to making these actually make some sense. And the harvester's body wasn't generating audio when it falls on various surfaces. Not a big deal. You're never going to use Harvey body to try and judge something like that. It's just going to make the game feel a little bit more immersive. Uh, so we're going through all the patch notes here. So that's it for that. I'm just going to quickly jump over to here. This will be in the description as well as the patch notes. So yeah, patch notes will be in the description, but so will this. Um, there is also a trial thing that's been posted on social media where they've got 10 maps, but they only tell you what the first one is, and there's going to be a QR code hidden in the map that allows you to find the names of the future outposts so you can continue the social raids. I'll probably play this on the weekend at some point, and probably stream it, honestly. But then there's also an optional challenge to keep Harvey alive if you'd like. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to give that a go, and it's just yeah, some more like official story as opposed to the unofficial stuff that we make for our maps a lot of the time. Uh, so I'll have this linked in the description, so if you want to give this a go, you can start with the Fort Hope test facility and then just make your way through. But yeah, I will be, if you are catching this very soon after it's uploaded, I will be streaming the new update for a few hours before work. And if you'd like to, you're welcome to come by and hang out while we're testing out the Lodestar weapon. But otherwise, I will see you next time.